Welcome back to the Sloan Show. So many of you guys hit me up and told me that I needed to dive into this conspiracy about Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston having an affair. Now, this is the Sloan Show, so we're going to go through several topics, but I want to dive into this first. So Barack Obama has been facing public scrutiny recently because Michelle Obama has been nowhere to be seen. She skipped out on Jimmy Carter's funeral in December 2024 and the inauguration of Donald Trump, which maybe she just doesn't like Donald, I don't know. Adding to the intrigue is an ongoing conspiracy suggesting Barack Obama is romantically involved with Jennifer Aniston. These rumors gained traction in August 2024, but were promptly dismissed by Jennifer Aniston in an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live. However, they resurfaced when an alleged direct message purportedly from a close friend of Jennifer's leaked online, claiming the affair was an open secret. Now, I must admit that is just something I did not add to my 2025 bingo card. I did not see Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama getting together.
Magazine that came out a couple of weeks ago in touch said the truth about Jen and Barack. So that is
that's kind of, that was
I mean, I get what you, I mean, could you imagine? Why?
All the calls you get from your publicist where you're just like, oh no, what's it gonna be? Or the email saying, you know, some cheesy tabloid is gonna make up a story, and then it's that.
Yeah. Does your publicist ever go like, is there any truth to this? Or is it...
No, that is absolutely untrue.
Well, I know it's not true. Yeah. I just don't know if everybody knows.
Well, it is untrue.
Some people, it is untrue. So the truth about Jen and Barack is that there is no truth.
There is no truth.
Untrue.
I mean, this could be a perfect opportunity for her to like squash everything if that's the intent of this interview.
No, Barack Obama.
I've met him once.
Met him once.
I know Michelle more than him.
What is there a truth about you and Michelle that we should know?
That is not true.
So, no.
Now, I think more notably, Michelle is just absent rather than Jennifer Aniston is present. Michelle's absence from the funeral drew attention, and then her skipping the inauguration also was noted. She claimed she was in the state of Hawaii at the time, which, I mean, who doesn't want to be in Hawaii? Some speculated her decision to skip the event hinted at marital issues. Michelle's candid reflections on her marriage in her memoir Becoming and a 2022 interview where she admitted to enduring challenging years in her marriage had only added fuel to the fire. Now, I don't know what it's like to be in politics or to be with someone who's in politics. So, in my opinion, Michelle just might want a break. I mean, I don't think Barack Obama can ever separate from the role of being a former president, but she can distance herself, and maybe that's what she's doing here.
Michelle Obama wasn't sick. She just didn't want to go. She didn't want to be there. She stood on business. She didn't want to be there. I think we should all take a note out of Michelle Obama's book and stand on business. I don't care if I'm attending an inauguration or a funeral. If I don't like that person, I'm not going, okay? Don't tell them I'm sick. I'm not sick. I don't want to be around y'all.
Michelle opened up about the difficulties in her marriage in an interview in 2022, saying, people think I'm being catty by saying this. It's like there were 10 years where I couldn't stand my husband. And guess when it happened? When those kids were little. She says, guess what? Marriage isn't 50-50. That she was, I guess, stuck raising the kids while his career continued. I mean, granted, look where they ended up. Imagine this, you've been in an accident or someone you love has been seriously hurt. Suddenly you're facing a mountain of medical bills, paperwork, and insurance companies that don't want to pay what you deserve. Now, what if I told you there was a simple solution to this nightmare? Getting compensation when you are entitled to can be tricky, with many personal injury firms giving you the runaround, drowning you in paperwork and settling for less than what you deserve. But it doesn't have to be that way. This is where Morgan & Morgan steps in. As America's largest injury firm, they've modernized the entire process. With over 1,000 attorneys across all 50 states, they have the resources to take on big insurance companies and give you the money you deserve. And trust me, they don't settle for lowball offers. Just this year, they secured a $26 million settlement in Philadelphia, 40 times more than the highest insurance offer. And there are plenty more stories like that. You could just fill out a simple form in minutes. No appointments, no complicated paperwork. Everything is done from your phone. SloanWellKnown. Plus, it's totally free unless you win. Morgan & Morgan makes the process easy and stress-free. You can head over to forthepeople.com/Sloan. You can also find that link in the description below to get started. Remember, the process is free unless you win. Thank you, Morgan & Morgan, for sponsoring this video, and enjoy. So, of course, people have been paying attention to when's the last time we saw Obama with his wife. And it actually turns out that they have a photo of this moment. And in the moment, you can see their body language is saying everything. They're like celebrating with a birthday cake, but they're so far from each other. It actually reminds me, I am like one of those annoying people at the restaurants that sit on the same side as my partner. I'm sorry, I am. Comment below if you're like that. I mean, we share the same food, so it's just easier to do when it makes sense, you know, not obnoxiously, but this is kind of obnoxious.
Some of you are married. Did you see the post he put out to celebrate her birthday?
Yeah.
Was it her birthday or their anniversary?
Yeah,
he chose the least attractive photo of her that's ever been released. I mean, this is just wrong. Michelle Obama can look very nice in a photograph. This ain't it. She's got the kerchief on her head. They're about 20 feet apart in this intimate dinner. And he looks great. This is classic, right? Like, he's like, this is a great picture. He's got the 1,000-watt smile. And she looks terrible. Why would he do this? I can tell you, Megan,
if I posted that photo, I certainly wouldn't be dating Jennifer Aniston.
Be a dead man?
I'd be a dead man.
Now, before we talk about Justin Baldoni, I want to talk about Kylie Jenner because people are talking about her and her man's ex, Lily Rose Depp. I mean, with that last name, Depp, she is just a force to be reckoned with. So there are reports that there was awkward tension at a Chanel show. Lily Rose has modeled for Chanel plenty of times, and Kylie Jenner arrived looking very similar to Lily. I mean, granted, they're wearing the same brand, the fashion designer Chanel, but there are people who have speculation that Kylie is obsessed with Lily Rose Depp because Timmy once dated her, and she wants to make sure she secures her man. Now, this is just one in many instances where Kylie has been now, I guess, accused of copying Lily Rose Depp with outfits being paired side by side, clearly showing a resemblance. Granted, I mean, Lily Rose does dress pretty simple. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if these two are friends because Hollywood is so small and everyone sleeps with everyone. But here's a who wore better situation. Kylie's looks like it's just hanging off her body. That's the only thing that bothers me about her. I mean, great body, beautiful, both beautiful women. Yeah, it just kind of looks like the skirt is hanging off of her body. And so is the shirt too. If she raised her arm for any reason or her leg, whew, we got a double whammy. Now there's a lot of discussion in the comment section. Someone writes, oh, she's a Chanel girly now. Another person writes, isn't she tired of cosplaying someone else? Like, buy yourself a personality, Kylie. Another person writes, also to add that Kylie's never worn Chanel apart from the tacky CC logo printed all over that luxury brands do for people who want to show they're wearing luxury brands. Another person writes that her kitten heels do not match your BBL. Another comment reads, if I were Lily Rose Depp, I would be glad to be such an inspiration to half of Hollywood's wannabes. Maybe it's far-fetched, but Timmy did date Lily back in 2018, so they do have some history there. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kylie or any Kardashian felt threatened by some of their ex's partners.
Like the Kardashians do that a lot when they morph into their boyfriend aesthetics. Like she switched from like Travis Scott, rapper's wife aesthetic to like a sunflower child, blah, 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 literally a Lily Rose Depp. Now I'm looking at these photos. And there's actually a lot of tabloids and articles about this of her low-key copying her. Yo, imagine Lily saw this and she's like, Kylie's a fan. I mean, Kylie's just a girl. I mean, we know, obviously it's been shown that Kylie's insecure about a couple things. But this, I wouldn't be surprised if she was low-key mimicking. The Kardashians are kind of sus in that way. Like, I feel like this is very possible, to be honest, because they've been known to copy people and then take credit for it. Imagine. I mean, like, it's not really like the same, but I can see it, you know, like the softer facial features, like even like the post, like the sunflower child, like I'm just like, that's not really Kylie. But then she has like 10 different personalities. I was like, that's kind of like Timmy's personality. But then again, Timmy's personality is really similar to Lily Rose Depp. Personally, I think they morphed really well together, her and Timmy. But him and Kylie are pretty cute too. It's just like this photo is crazy though. I'm just like, wait a minute, all the work she's been getting done, is she trying to be Lily? Wait a minute, like, no, people are actually talking about this. This is crazy. Lily's like, you thought.
I was looking at videos that were comparing their outfits at the Chanel show, and as you guys can see, people are just going in saying that she is copying Lily Rose. One person writes, "You couldn't tell me otherwise. Either like she copies down right to the way that Lily poses for pictures." Another person writes, "Y'all are so miserable it hurts. Ouch." This person writes, "She gives me secondhand embarrassment." Another person writes, "Went and got Ozempic to get her whole body, and it's 10 times worse." Wow, okay, calm down, people. Justin Baldoni is really working overtime with his lawyer, releasing a voice note he had left to Blake. Now, it's weird. I mean, Hollywood is weird. I think you guys know this, but it was a 7-minute apology he sent to her at 2 a.m. I can barely keep my eyes open past 10. He was saying, quote, "I'm really sorry I effed up. I will admit and apologize when I fail. I'm a flawed man, as my wife will attest." He continued, "I'm going to piss you off probably, but I will always apologize and find my way back to center. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I will for sure do better." So he's apologizing for something. This was the night where he had the meeting with Blake and her husband Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, and it was when Blake was advocating for her script changes. He said, quote, "Damn right, you've got great friends. We should all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they are two of the most creative people on the planet." Remember, in a text message to Jake, Blake referred to herself as Khaleesi from the Game of Thrones and called Taylor and Ryan her protective dragons. In the voice note, Justin says that the three of them should get together. They're an incredibly powerful force, and he gushes about wanting to spend more time with her crafting the movie. Now, there are portions of the message that are bizarre, where he mentions that he feels sorry for previous experiences she's had with other filmmakers. He calls these past the people who she had past experiences with F-heads, and tells her that's not all going to be or will be, and hopefully is not, the experience with me. There's nothing more exciting to me that I get to work with Blake Lively. He goes on to say that he and Blake are the secret sauce to making a great movie, and then finally, around the 6 minute and 30 seconds into the message, he cuts himself off saying, "I'm sorry, you probably have your kids all over you, a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble." Here is a shortened clip of his voice note. If you want the full thing, go to my Instagram at SloanHooks.
"Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Wow, there's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just gonna send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not gonna be more than a few minutes, but I don't have the best track record. I want to start with an apology. Reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. I'm really sorry. I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that, and the way you framed it, and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust. I feel really grateful that you feel safe enough to tell me that that's how you feel. I fucked up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I am a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize. And I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize and find my way back to center. That is one thing I can assure you of. And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That must have felt terrible. And I will for sure do better. That was not my best weekend, and I should have given it more time. And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that, and fuck, we should all have friends like that. I'm just excited to spend time with you. I'm excited to be in your sphere and your presence, and for us to share creative juices together, although that sounds terrible. You and I have been trying to build a relationship, which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are talking like this, me into my phone at 2 in the morning, and I'm excited to have a creative partner in that with you. And it's just really it's just really exciting. There's so much more to say. There's so much I want to say. I am so sorry you have been through what you've been through with these other filmmakers and producers or whoever the people were that you worked with. It just pissed me off. Those fuckheads that, I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be, and hopefully it's not been the experience with me. There's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want. And so there's been no hesitancy with me sending you the final draft file. Anyways, I have so much more to say. I'm going to stop rambling because, Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so fuck me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 in the morning. I hope you're feeling better, and give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that, and I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done. Cutting myself off. Good night.
Now, the world is scary right now. I don't know if you saw Elon Musk was doing a little bit of something with his hands recently that really shook me up. Now, of course, his actions are disturbing. Actually, I would like to go ahead and blur the arm movement. Let's go ahead and blur that because I don't even want that type of energy on my channel. And I'm glad people are calling him out for it.
Musk was thanking a crowd of Trump supporters yesterday at the Capital One Arena, and twice he touched his heart, then thrust an arm out. Many on social media have likened the gesture to the fascist or Nazi salute. Many others, including the US-based Anti-Defamation League, are saying Musk's awkward gesture was meant to convey from my heart to you.
Elon made jokes on Twitter, or X, whichever you want to call it, about this whole situation, which I don't think is a joking matter. I mean, it just, oh gosh. Going back in history, let's please not. Now, Jake Paul and Logan Paul are finally getting into the ring together. It's nice to see that there is life after YouTube. Jake and Logan are two of the most notorious people in the world right now. They've really made their name in the boxing world, which a lot of people tune in for, and it looks like this might be their biggest fight yet. Now, these two have a lot of personal beef. I think that some of it's real and a lot of it's fake, and I just want to warn you guys, there's gonna be a lot of fake press, I'm sure, coming through about these two, trying to convince us that they have a feud until they fight it out in the court, or on the court, or I guess it's in the ring. The pair seem to be capitalizing on their feud and have teased a fight on their social media channels. I heard that they were like fighting over $500 million. I don't know if that's real. If it's $500 million, then let's just like help the world, please. Like, can that money just go to helping everyone? Because who needs all of that? Jake Paul had a fight with Mike Tyson last year, which made about $18 million. It was one of Netflix's biggest hits. And it's interesting, they are very different age gap wise. And honestly, it makes me question how much of this is actually real.
It would suck to be the one that has to deal with, you know, losing, but I wouldn't be the one that would have to deal with
I have the
that,
opposite perspective. I feel like ruining my little brother's boxing career would be so bad.
Chris Brown, please don't come for me. I actually did a really great podcast about Chris Brown and all the allegations against him on my Let's Get Into It podcast. But now, speaking of $500 million, he's suing for $500 million. Who has... Okay, so this is where all the money is at. I've been wondering why everyone's so broke, because the money is really up at the top, huh? Now, Chris Brown is suing because of this documentary, Chris Brown, A History of Violence, in which came out last year. It was created by the same makers of Quiet on Set, that Nickelodeon documentary, so you can get a vibe of like the angle they were coming from. Oh, okay. So here's the little bit of the
Chris Brown,
trailer, and look at
talented musician. But let's call a thing a thing.
See, I will never forgive him for what he did to Rihanna. I know a lot of you guys are Chris Brown fans out there, and I'll forgive you this time, but I will not forget. Forgive, but not forget.
He's an abuser of women, consistently, unapologetically.
Now, Chris Brown was not happy about that documentary, and he's got plenty of money to spend to fight it. They claim the documentary was full of lies and deception, even after being provided proof that their information was false. Allegations by a woman referred to as Jane Doe in the documentary have been discredited over and over again, Chris Brown's lawyer says. And when it comes to Warner Brothers, that's a gigantic production company. So the fact that they do have a case that they've built against them and that Warner did not do their due diligence and released this, I mean, I don't believe it's a hit piece, but in Chris Brown's eyes, it's a hit piece. Though I do think that all of the people who have accused him of these things are telling the truth. Who's really lying on Chris Brown? They write, despite this, the documentary's producers portrayed Redacted as credible, so whoever this accuser is, ignoring her established lack of veracity. It's intending to donate a portion of that $500 million to survivors of SA. I don't know what a portion means. They should define that a little bit more, but at least, you know, they're going to get something. Now, this is very similar to the Dan Schneider case. He's suing the people who created Quiet on Set. So a lot of these people are finding out that there's consequences for exposing bad people in Hollywood, which just makes this job even scarier sometimes. I mean, I can't wait to tell you guys about what happened on my Let's Get Into It podcast channel, because someone's been coming after me, but I've got like 80 something days until I will be doing a big expose on them. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of the Sloan Show. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.